All right, here we go. Boom. This is going to be the wildest play you ever seen in your life. How did he catch that, dogs? That's concentration to the max, my G. You know what I mean? That's all that is, B. I've been watching this like all day. I mean, this is a regular season game, right? This year, 2025. He accidentally tripped. He still had the eye on his ball, and he stuck out his hand on some chepa. Que chepa, loco. This right here, I can't win the lottery, but this dude can make a catch like this in a real live baseball game. This was the greatest catch I've ever seen in my life, my G. And if this was in the playoffs, even matter of fact, even better, if this was in the World Series, game whatever, it doesn't even matter, and this play happened, we would talk about this play forever, my G. Ya tú sabes, loco. And we did it against Boston. Toma otra ahí. Man, dude, yo, sucks. I mean, that kid at center field, he's nice, so he got a gold glove. He's a todo loco, pero, yeah, no. Get chepa, loco. You know what I mean? All right, let's start this show, baby. Well, like I said, welcome. This is Hands Down Sports on YouTube, and this is my Starting Lineup podcast. What's up, Hova, my co-host? How you doing, brother? You know how it is out here, my G. Estamos aquí hablando de the Knicks. Shedeur Sanders. ¿Qué está pasando in the playoffs, NBA? Lucky Lakers, baby. Ya tú sabes. So we're going to get into it. I'm going to talk about a few things, highlight a few stuff in the MLB. Because the Yankees are looking good and the Mets are looking good. So, you know, we'll see what happens there, of course. And let's get it, my G. You know, get that yak, get that little J, my G. Sit back, relax. Hands Down Sports got you, dogs. Estamos aquí. Let's get into my episode. So the first thing I want to talk about is the lucky Lakers. They're not lucky anymore, my G. They have been eliminated by the Minnesota Timberlakes. The Minnesota Timberwolves last night beat the Lakers 103-96. And if we recap that one, they said Lakers in 5. If I get to show you the thing behind me, I mean, I didn't make this thing up, man. People were already expecting to see Lakers Celtics finals, man. The NBA's low on ratings. It's all right, now it's really going to go low on ratings. Because we don't got lucky Lakers in the house. You know what I mean? Well, LeBron. Now it's time to let go. You did your thing. You're forever sealed as one of the greatest NBA players of all time. So as long as we talk about Jordan and Kareem and Will and Bird and Magic and everybody else, you're included. Everybody knows it. An amazing ball player. Yeah, we can nitpick on things. He did this, he did that. You know what I'm saying? The when he went to the Heat, you know what I'm saying? Taking my talents to South Beach. You know, para ganar allá con los amigos, tú sabes, and do other things behind the scenes, you know what I mean? Because, you know, Miami, tú tienes dinero. Tú eres famoso. You know what I'm saying? What party you going to, G? Fun parties. Fun. Real fun. But anyways, look, my dude. At the end of the day, look at that. Edwards only had 15 points last game. But 11 rebounds and 8 assists. Almost a triple-double. You missed it. You just missed it. Gobert. My G. Diablo loco. I didn't see this stat in here. Nobody talking about this. 27 points, 24 rebounds. Did he get any block shots? I don't know. I don't see it right here. But my dude, that's crazy. Randall doing his thing. You know, ex-Knick. You know. Why he's on Minnesota, we don't know. But, you know, it's all good. It worked out. We're in the playoffs. They advanced. We're about to advance, too. We just, you know. We got to make the Knicks fans, you know. We got to suffer and struggle a little bit, you know what I'm saying, against Detroit. And Detroit's up and coming. I like it. Next year, there'll be more they'll be better. They'll be more deadly. It's all good. But back to this lucky Lakers, Minnesota. Now, let me see here. Doncic, man, my dude Luka, he almost had a triple-double. Just missed it, too. 7 boards, 9 assists, 28 points. Right? LeBron had 22 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists. He was looking for a triple-double. Hashimura, who nobody knows besides Laker fans, had 23 points last night. Reeves, right? I don't know how to pronounce the man's name, but Austin Reeves, he's an upcoming superstar for the Lakers. He's really good, man. He only had 12 points, though. So, he had a bad shooting night, 5 for 14. Yeah, in the future, he's not going to be doing stuff like that. Watch. I mean, even Luka went 7 for 18, my G, and he still hit true for 28. So, it is what it is. I'm glad the Lakers lost. Yeah, leave a comment down below if you agree with me, my G. Que se fueron eso loco. I don't want to see the Lakers winning, but you know what they did, son? They traded for a superstar and they gave away he's a superstar too. AD is, he's mad nice, bro. He is, man. But at this point in his career, come on, my dude. He's not looking like he's 23. You know what I mean? When he played for New Orleans, if that would have been the trade, you know what I mean? Like Luka for him when he was in New Orleans, kind of thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like young AD, my G. That would have been like, all right, hey, it is what it is. You're looking for a big man center. They're looking for, someone to dish the ball that scores, point guard. That's all, it would have looked nice. Nobody would have talked about it. They would have been like, oh, that was an awesome trade. Both teams need this. You know what I mean? But as I'm alive today, 2025, between the cafecito loco, porque it's time to celebrate, son. The Rockets stayed alive. They're down in the series 3-2. Today is Thursday, and today we're in Detroit. Now it's time to talk about the New York Knicks. So the Knicks are up 3-2. If they win today, they clinch the series. They go and they gotta face Boston, who just beat Orlando 4-1. The Clippers and the Nuggets, real quick. Nuggets are up in the series 3-2. I told you, the Clippers, they're never gonna win nothing, dogs. You can put 14 LeBrons over there. None. You should have sent Luka over there. You know what I'm saying? Actually, next year, Giannis and whoever else is a stud superstar that's on, the last year of their contract or something, let's get your ass over there, my G. You know what I mean? To the Clippers. I always see if you win anything over there, you'll make the playoffs. Harden makes the playoffs. He's an amazing player, Hall of Fame. But there's no jewelry there, you know what I mean? It's not in there for you. But the Knicks, even though I know they're going to beat Detroit, I think today you're going to see Brunson go like 30-something. Towns hit you with another 30. And then everybody else is going to contribute. It's all about the bench, man. Deuces has to do his thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, we need Precious. Has Precious even played, or is he? Oh, he's hurt, my G. Or he's dealing with with the gambling thing. Ay, let me see. Que maldito hijo de puta, loco. Let's see. With injury report, no one from the Knicks is on the injury report. So we'll see, man. Did he play last game? I'm gonna wait because I haven't heard nothing from Precious here. My G. Let me see. Robinson. Robinson is doing his thing, dogs. 10-10. Last game he had 11-13. 11 boards, 13 points. Yeah, no, Chu's not playing. Coach's decision. PJ Tucker, coach's decision. Shamet, Kolik. Todo el mundo, you know what I mean? Like, coach's decision. All these dudes should be available, which they are available. It's just that they don't want to play them, motherfucker. So that's why I think that these games are fixed. Big time. Because I would have thought You know what I mean? Like, how did the Lakers lose the series when, you know, you're trying to push the Lakers to be, the main focus of the league? But vamos a ver, loco. The Bucks lost to Indianapolis Pacers 4-1 in the series. Did you see what happened to Giannis? Giannis got confronted by Halliburton's dad at the end of the game. Why is his dad on the court at the end of the game? My dude, sit your ass down. You're supposed to be over there, not sitting, but like, standing, happy, and, with your towel of your son, y esto y lo otro. What are you doing on the court? I want to know what he said to them. Like, they're staring at each other. He's just there like, F you, F that, you're a this, you're a that. You're trash. Is to Giannis, son? One of the best players in the league? Yo, my dude. Now, Giannis, I respect this guy. He went to Halliburton, the player, and was like, yo, let's talk about this. Oh, we're in a good place. It doesn't mean that it's resolved or nothing. It just says that he had a conversation with the dude. That's it. You know what I mean? He's not a disrespectful dude. You know what I mean? Like, he's not, he could have easily choked his dad out real quick to be like, what you doing, son? I'm in my 20s, built like a stud. You know what I'm saying? You old, dog. What are you doing? Anyways. All right. So the Celtics won, Denver's 3-2, and the Wolves won. And then we have the Rockets and Golden State. When do they play? I think they play tomorrow. Yeah, on Friday. And it's at Golden State, so I think that game is over, my G. But let me know, all your Knicks fans, some comments down below, please, what you think about this Game 6. I mean, by the time I post this, the game might be over. So let me know how you feel, if the Knicks won or lost. Give me a little rundown about the game. I'm going to try to watch as much as I can tonight. But my focus is on some baseball, son. You know what I mean? My focus is on some baseball right now. So that's where I'm at, my G. Let's get to my next segment. All right, so now the day of this recording is Saturday. The beginning of this video was on Thursday, the day the Knicks defeated the Pistons. Daddy duties, man. I had to change my shirt now. I'm not feeling too good. That enfermo. Yeah. But let's continue with the show. You know what I'm saying? And this is your first time. Welcome. This is Hands Down Sports on YouTube. You're listening to Starting Lineup Podcast, where I just talk about sports, relevant news that's going on right now, and of course, my three favorite, leagues: the NFL, MLB, and the NBA. Yeah, sometimes I will talk about some boxing, soccer, hockey, tennis, golf, something. You know what I mean? That pops up that I'm really interested in reading, because of course, I'm not researching nothing. I'm not in the field, trying to interview somebody. You know what I mean? I'm not ESPN. You know what I mean? I'm right here just telling you how I feel, what I think about a situation, and of course, let's go Knicks. You know what I mean? I'm a big fan of Toronto Blue Jays for baseball. Yes, the NFL teams that I like are all from New York, all three. So, but I think, you know what I mean? But I love fantasy football, so you might hear me talk about that on my channel as well. You know what I mean? So, as we're getting back to it, of course, I was mentioning that Denver and the Clippers went to a Game 6. The Clippers won that game, so now they're going to go on a Game 7, which they play tonight at 7:30. Boom. The New York Knicks defeated the Detroit Pistons 116-113 with Mr. Clutch hitting a big three-pointer at the end of the game with a few seconds left, and then Detroit unfortunately turned it over. If that dude Beasley would have caught that ball at that three-point line, there was a possibility of him tying the game, but it slipped right through his hands, man. I know he feels like, very disappointed. He let his team down right there, son. The crucial moments, man. Now, last night, Friday, May 2nd, 2025, the Rockets extended the series, tying it up 3-3 against the Golden State Warriors, who had the lead 3-2. Now they're going back to Houston, and they play on Sunday. Now on Sunday, the Cavs and the Pacers play, because the Pacers eliminated Milwaukee. That's going to be a really good series, man. I have a feeling that this is going to be a classic series. I don't know why, because I'm not even a fan of those teams there, except Mitchell. You know what I mean, Spider. Now, as much as I would like to see him win a chip, I'm saying the Knicks got to go and face the Boston Celtics, the defending champs, probably the best team in the league. As a unit, you know what I'm saying? Because of course the Cavs have the better record, and OKC as well has a better record than the Celtics. But the Knicks, man, I don't know, bro. It's gonna be very difficult. I say it like this. Me and my friend had a conversation, and my brother as well. If the Knicks can play like they did in the first quarter of Game 6, every quarter against the Celtics, we're going to have a really good chance to beating them and moving on to the next round. So we'll see, man, because that's going to be dope, babe. Now, I want to get into other things here. Let me see what I write down here. Mr. Clutch, man. Wins it for the New York Knicks. And then he did that 3-finger, his that's his thing right there. Like, that's his logo and everything now. You know what I mean? Yo vi un gorrito there que he was doing at the end of the game. He had war on, you know what I mean? And then I'm watching that part on instant replay, because I, even though I'm a big Knicks fan, you know what I mean? I'm a big Knicks fan. When Detroit took the lead, 109-105, I said, we're going to Game 7. A couple of minutes later, we got uno de esto aquí, you know what I mean? But then he pointed it to the crowd, son. I was like, yo, ten cuidado con eso, loco, porque van a pensar que es una pistola, loco. You know what happened to Morant? You know what I mean? Don't play like that, Brunson. We don't need that. Now, we don't need that right now, son. For sure, for sure. I'm telling you, man, Detroit's good. I think they were missing some players, too, that are a big part of their, of their team. But I know they didn't have enough, bro. You know what I'm saying? The games that they did win, I mean, if you look at it, man, the scores were all close. So I think Detroit got something to build on. I mean, their future looks bright. Really good, man. Let's go Knicks. Now, let's remind you something. Jalen Brunson, let me see here, has scored 285 points. And he has 65 assists. And this is the 2024 playoffs through 8 games. Right? That's what it says on my thing here. I'll show you right next to me, right? Right? And then Michael Jordan. They want to put Michael Jordan in this stat right here. 288 points, 65 assists. This is the 1989 playoffs through 8 games. As this year, my G, Jalen Brunson is doing Michael Jordan numbers. Ten cuidado, loco. I'm saying, though, he scored 15 in the first quarter of that Game 6. And then second quarter, he only scored 5. I don't know what happened there, but, we can't have that against the Celtics. Or, let's say we beat the Celtics and then we got to face the Cavs. That's going to be another nightmare, you know what I mean? Because we haven't even beat these teams this year, dogs. In the regular season, we haven't even won a game. Not even at home, son. They swept us both. They both swept us, babe. That shit is horrible. Another news, man. Coach Popovich, he is calling it a career, man. The legendary coach for the San Antonio Spurs has said that he's gonna stop coaching. I mean, he's 76 years old. He's been in the Spurs front office since 1994. My J. You know what I mean? Let's see here. He's an all-time winningest coach with 1,422 regular season victories. And he has 5 NBA championships with the San Antonio Spurs. Popovich is also a 3-time NBA Coach of the Year award winner and tied Don Nelson and Pat Riley for the most in league history. You know what I mean? That's just the tip of the iceberg for that guy right there, my G. Well, he's going to stay in, working for the team, but not as a coach, like behind the scenes, you know what I'm saying? Which is awesome. And I think that that's going to be the best thing for him. He's not stressed out. He's just, I'm hate the law because he's 76 years old, son. Wake up early, you know what I mean? Do your thing, but, Coach Pop, congratulations. Enjoy their retirement. And, don't work too hard, bro. Just take it easy, G. You know what I mean? That's my guy. Right there. That's the big shot right there, G. That's the big shot, man. My friend said that that somebody he knew was front court and took that photo. But he was lying to me, that my boys is yo, my G. What you gonna do? What you gonna say, son? Let's get to my next segment. Well, if you've seen my last video, I of course talked about Deion Sanders' son, Shedeur Sanders, getting drafted in the 5th round by the Cleveland Browns, which, I'm glad he's on the team. Everybody expected him to be a first rounder, or at least the latest, or the worst, a second rounder. But for some reason, everybody has their speculations of what happened here. I like what Chris Carter said, saying this is like an interview to show the franchise that you are that one to invest in, to see if, they can be winners in championship and stuff like that. And apparently, it didn't work out that way. The NFL teams didn't, it seemed like they didn't want him in the NFL at all. If you get to hear Rich Eisen's podcast, he has a really nice segment about it, and I love what he said on his take, man. I would recommend to go over there and watch it. I'll see if I can link that video to this one. But some of the conversations about this was basically like, what's the difference between what the Sanders were doing compared to the Mannings? You know what I mean? When Eli Manning was in the draft, his dad was like, he's not going over there to that team. Got drafted by that team, and then they ended up trading him, the same day, I think that next year would be pretty interesting, because I was listening to a podcaster say that, let me see here, Arch Manning, which is the quarterback for, let me see here, the Texas Longhorn. He's the son of one of the brothers of the Mannings that didn't make it to the NFL. Cooper, right? Cooper Manning. Arch Manning can be drafted next year. So is he, and the Saints, there's a possibility that the Saints, where his grandfather played, Archie Manning played for the Saints, they might be one of the worst teams next year and may have that, top 3 in the draft, next year. Now, the situation that I heard this gentleman say, I don't remember the channel or nothing, so I apologize, but he was saying that Doug Newsmere who was the quarterback coach for LSU, where his son Garrett plays. You know, he Doug has been, in the NFL as a player, coach for many teams, college teams. He's been all types of offense coordinator coaches and quarterback coaches, and now he works for the New Orleans Saints. Wouldn't you want, as an office coordinator, wouldn't you want that team that you work for to select your son, Garrett, to be, on the staff? You know what I mean? To be on the team and potentially, be the starting quarterback of the New Orleans Saints. Or do the Mannings have a little bit more elbow room, or more push, more how do you say it? They got more leeway. You know what I mean? Of course, everybody knows the Mannings. Grandfather Archie, and then his sons Peyton and Eli, and now the other son, Cooper, has a son that's really good in football, who is a quarterback. Will the Saints select him? So I was like, man, that would be pretty interesting to know what happens next year with that. But anything can happen, man. If Shedeur goes in the 5th round to the Cleveland Browns in the draft, we'll see if this is a highlighted moment next year, because Arch Manning is doing really good over there in Texas, man. And then Garrett plays for LSU. You know what I'm saying? So these are top quarterbacks in college right now, man. They're doing really good. So we'll see what happens next year. But as you know, I think that Shedeur Sanders will be a really good quarterback in the NFL. He needs to go in and do everything the right way. You know what I'm saying? So then the narrative changes for him, because of course you can't get mad at Deion, man. He's trying to put his son in the best position to be successful in the NFL. You know what I mean? In these pro teams, a pro athlete needs to perform. You want to get paid, you know what I mean? You want to have some longevity in the league, you have to perform. You have to make it happen. Hopefully he doesn't struggle right off the gate, because man, the media, baby. I mean, most of the media is on Shedeur's side, I believe, except a few. I mean, I heard Chris Carter, a Hall of Famer, wide receiver for the Minnesota Vikings. I love what he said too, man, because he knows the process. Deion knows the process. All these guys that are professional superstars, you know what I'm saying? They know the process of the draft and how everything is done. But like some people said, the Sanders played their card, and it was null and void. It didn't work out for them. They executed something that didn't go their way. Good luck to Shedeur and the Cleveland Browns. Would love to see them succeed. And yes, in my last video, I did mention that they haven't been in the playoffs since the 2000s, but they were in the playoffs 2 years ago, the Cleveland Browns. But I in my head, because I got ADHD, I was thinking more like, this is a franchise that is not known for winning, except back in the days. You know what I mean? When people speak about the Cleveland Browns, they speak about Jim Brown. And I mean, he played in 57 to 65. You know what I'm saying? Yes, what he did in the NFL is legendary, but they're not, nowadays, in the last 10 years, man, one playoff appearance, they got eliminated in the first round. I'm just saying that I want to see the Browns win, like how the way I would like to see the Mariners make it to the World Series, man. You know what I'm saying? The Seattle Mariners in the MLB. I would like to see the same for these guys. You know what I'm saying? But because the Browns is a legendary type of NFL, franchise, man. They have that long history in the league, so hopefully, man, Shedeur's that guy that brings them to the promised land, man. I don't know. I mean, they definitely need some more weapons. I believe they did draft another quarterback, because of course you never know, man. You might have somebody in the background that ends up being the greatest of all time. So you gotta put him out there and see what's going on. So good luck, Shedeur. So now, in the world of baseball, of course, let's go really quick with the standings. New York Yankees, 19-13, leading the Eastern American League. The Detroit Tigers are 21-12, leading in the Central right now, 2.5 games over Cleveland. In the West, we have the Seattle Mariners, 19-12, in first place. And guess who's in second place, 2 games behind? The Oakland Athletics. I don't know. Somebody wants to win, man. Somebody wants to win. In the National League, we got the Mets at 22-11. They're 3.5 games up in the first place on the East over Philly. In the Central, we got the Cubs, 20-13. My Milwaukee Brewers are 4 games back. They're in third place, but Cincinnati's in second, 18-15. And then the West, National League West, man. This right here, if we can just, Colorado, unfortunately, man, 6 wins, 26 losses. I mean, man, dogs. I mean, them and the White Sox, man. The White Sox are 9-23. And those City Connect jerseys that the White Sox had, that shit looked pretty cool, man. But anyways, in the West of the National League, we got the Los Angeles Dodgers, 1.5 game over the Padres. The Dodgers are 22-10, and San Diego is 20-11. San Francisco is 20-13, and then Arizona is 17-15. Yo, it's gonna be a tough little. So, the leaders in batting, we got Aaron Judge and Paul Goldschmidt. Both of them are leading the American all MLB in batting average. The home run leaders, as you can see right here on the side of me. Carl Rayleigh from the Mariners has 12 home runs. Suarez has 10. Judge has 10. He wasn't on this list right here, but he must have had some home runs in the last 2 games. Let me see. Kyle Schwarber has 10 home runs, and Mike Trout, who just got injured. Unfortunately, he's dealing with a bone bruise in his knee, and he's going to go to that, injured reserve, or instead the IL. So he's injured right now. But Mike Trout has 9 home runs, leading, in the major leagues. The RBIs, the league leader in the entire MLB is Aaron Judge. Let's stand up for Judge. Boom, 32. But Teoscar Hernandez for the Dodgers also has 32 RBIs. Pete Alonso's doing really good, has 30 RBIs. Wilmer Flores from San Francisco is busting it with 29. And then Kyle Tucker, who's now on the Cubs, has 29 RBIs. Stolen bases, O'Neal Cruz from Pittsburgh is leading the league right now with 14 stolen bases. 14, you know what I mean? If Ricky Henderson was playing, he would probably have like 35 stolen bases right now. Real early in the season. Luis Robert Jr. from the White Sox has 13 stolen bases, as well as Elly de la Cruz, who I think is going to go 30 for 30. And maybe 40 for 40. You know what I mean? The dude hit a grand slam yesterday. The crowd erupted.
Runners go. High fly, left field. Tommy Pham fading back. That's gone! Grand slam! On the night of his switch-hitting bobblehead, he shows he's got the power.
Official. But as you can see, Cruz O'Neal has 8 home runs. You know what I mean? He's on the list right there. I mean, Aaron Judge had the 8 home runs. You know what I mean? but he had 2. You know how Judge does that. He don't play, son. That dude's amazing. And when we get to the pitching side, pitching leaders in wins is Max Fried from the Yankees, who they got from Atlanta as free agent. Casey Mize from Detroit has 5 wins, and so does Brandon. Brandon from Arizona. Perdón, look, I don't know how to pronounce your last name. I'm not even going to butcher that at all. Nick Pivetta in San Diego. Yo, man, they picked him up as a free agent last year, and look at him, five wins so far. Let me see here. ERA leaders. Oh, the Dodgers. I don't know. I forget how to pronounce this guy's name, man. Shinobu Yamamoto. Man. Well, his ERA is under 1. 0.90. I've never seen nothing like that, son. I know they've only played for 2 weeks. You know what I mean? You know, they got what is it? A total of what? 35 games maybe? And this dude's ERA is 0.90. Diablo loco. Max Fried has an ERA of 1.01. Tyler from Texas Rangers, a great ERA at 1.19. And we got Hunter Brown at 1.22. Save leaders right now, Robert Suarez from San Diego has 12 saves. Andres Munoz from Seattle has 11. And Kyle Finnegan from Washington has 10 saves. That's big, man, because when you go look at the standings here, Washington is 14-19, 8 games behind, the Mets. But they have a good closer, man. When you put him in, he's getting some saves. All right, that's dope. Strikeout leaders, we got Mackenzie Gore for Washington at 59 strikeouts. Good Lord. Zach Wheeler for Philly, he's a stud. He got 57 strikeouts, Ks, you know what I mean? And then Hunter Green for Cincinnati has 55. Let me see here. Boom. So those are the stats in the standings. Judge, crushing it, bro. To see this guy potentially be another MVP season, batting .430. Come on, dogs. 32 RBIs, 52 hits. You know what I mean? Where is he? He has the 10 home runs. I mean, this guy is pretty much showing that he might do a triple crown pretty soon. Maybe this year or next year, I don't know. But Aaron Judge, man, wow, what a player, bro. He is legendary. Anthony Rendon making $35 million, bro, and he's not been relevant since he left Washington, bro. And everybody knows he's a really good ball player, but he went to the Angels, got paid, and it hasn't been the same, bro. And then I want to close this segment by saying Jose Ramirez unfortunately got injured yesterday when he played with Toronto. Right now they're saying that it's like a knee sprain. Let me get to that article there. All right, so the news for Jose Ramirez, third baseman for the Cleveland Guardians, is that he was diagnosed with a mild right knee sprain after leaving Friday's game against the Toronto Blue Jays. Right now, he is the first Guardian or the first Cleveland baseball player at third base with 250 career home runs so far and 250 career steals so far, which puts him in the category with Carlos Beltran for switch hitters that have 250 or more home runs and steals. I already know that Jose Ramirez continues this and doesn't really get like an injury that can, let's say, lose the entire season. This guy is going to be in the Hall of Fame, and these numbers will be amazing. I mean, for him, he's 32 years old. You know, he is probably I think he's just locked in for his career with Cleveland. And I'm saying, like, ESPN was writing here that he's the 7th player in Major League history to record 250 career home runs, 250 stolen bases with a single franchise. According to ESPN, you see it, he's joining Derek Jeter, Craig Biggio, Barry Bonds, Ryan Sandberg, Robin Yount, and Willie Mays. That's a hell of a fucking list to be on. And it's just amazing, man. This guy is, we all know, man, he's a stud, man. He doesn't get the recognition he should get. Imagine he did this for the Yankees. He'd be, but that's not the case, man. The dude is loyal to his franchise. He's an amazing person. He be crushing it. He be trying to win home run derbies and everything, man. And he's just a dope dude, man. But yeah, man. Jose Ramirez, even though he got injured, he'll be back. He might miss a week or so with that sprain. But Ramirez is in that Hall of Fame category right now, my G. And I also want to add that MLB Network, I don't remember who one of the pitchers were that were talking about this here that you see here, the new type of like changeup that some players are doing because of the type of grip that they're doing with the ball, so that they can throw it and have like a more dominant like ring finger on the ball instead of your middle finger, because usually the middle finger is the last finger that the ball is released from when pitchers are throwing their pitches. But Al Leiter was there, and so he was explaining how some pitchers can, when they throw the ball, they can kind of throw it a certain way with their arm and hand and stuff. But this grip that they're showing right here on the left hand side is taking the league by storm. Unfortunately, apparently, the way this ball looks to the hitter is like, oh, it looks like a fastball or a changeup, but then it has that dip, like, you know what I mean? It like drops either away from the batter or into the batter.
They're calling it the kick change.
Struck him out swinging.
It is an amazing pitch. Not only does it have the change of speed, but more importantly, the bottom seems to drop out when they throw it.
Swung and missed. He struck him out.
Little kick change right there.
Good pitch, that changeup. The new kick change for Davis Morikawa.
A lot of strikeout, throwing some kick changes.
Swing and miss. He struck him out.
I mean, look at the size of the drop.
And there's the kick change again.
Yo, I don't know, man. It's gonna be a crazy pitch. I mean, if you see videos on it, it looks very difficult to hit. But Al Leiter and the other gentlemen, they did a great skit on that. If you go to MLB.com, you'll probably check that out and see what they're doing. If you're a pitcher, maybe you want to look into this right now and try to practice now. You know what I mean? Different grips on the ball. You know what I mean? To see what the movement is when you're throwing it. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you guys are in college, minor leagues, or in high school. You know what I mean? In high school, that's where you should be trying all types of combinations of grips and way to throw the ball to try to get guys out, man. That's the perfect time, because you're young, your arm is fresh, and then eventually you start picking some things up and be like, hey, man, you know what I do? I grip it like this, and I throw it like this, and I try to release it like this, and you know what I mean? This is where I stand on the mound when I'm trying to pitch that, that ball. That was a pretty interesting little take there. I didn't know that this was such a new thing now. You know what I mean? I always thought that pitchers practice all types of stuff. You know what I mean? To try to make their slider, more efficient or whatever pitch it is. But go check that out, MLBnetwork.com. All right, so real quick, man, as you can see on this list right here, this is from Football Fantasy Analysts. Their rookie rankings, they're top 10. And as you can see right here, man, they're mostly running backs. So if you're into your dynasty, they're saying here, rookie rankings for 2025 dynasty. And yes, Ashton Genty will be that number one guy. You know what I mean? Travis Hunter, I'm not sure how you feel about, his position on the team. He's going to play both sides of the field. In football fantasy, you don't want your guy on the bench, man, for injuries, man. So it's a high risk. So, if he does really good with the Jaguars, it's going to pay off for you as long as he doesn't get injured, if he can produce. But my suggestion is, if you're in Dynasty this year and you're doing your draft, it's a running back league, as you can see right here, man. Fantasy football analysts put this down right here, and I'm like, Genty is a hell of a good pick. A lot of people are raving about Amarion Hampton he's on the Chargers. There's some videos of him doing workouts and stuff, and he looks explosive, fast, straight legit, man. I don't know how anybody feels about Trayvon Henderson. He's going to be the rookie running back for the Patriots. But R.J. Harvey might have a good role, since I don't think they have like a certified number one running back for the Denver Broncos. I think that RJ will be a nice, sneaky pick if you can get him on your squad. You know what I mean? I know Dynasty leagues, the drafts are not that long, especially if you already played, a year or more in the league. And then I'm not sure who Quinshon Judkins is, running back there that you see on the list for the Cleveland Browns. I wonder how that running back room is right now, because they got veterans in there, they got guys that were producing last year, and they're rebuilding. So we'll see. I mean, Chubb, that's the man right there, but he's had really serious injuries. So Quinshon, try to impress, and when they give you an opportunity on the field, try to make the best of it. But for me, out of this top 10, Genty, Hampton, Harvey, those three running backs, that's what I would recommend here at Hands Down Sports Starting Lineup Podcast, being for real. And well, like always, man, thanks for watching Starting Lineup Podcast here on YouTube. Well, on my Hands Down Sports YouTube page. If you lasted this long in the video, please comment down below. Let's go Knicks. You know what I mean? And if you're a Celtic fan, let me hear the boos. You guys ain't beating us. But anyways, man, Hands Down Sports. Estamos aquí.
Hands down. Hands down.
Hands down, shit, you know what I mean?